Well, it's a good day to have a good day. Welcome to this time of devotion. Now, today we find ourselves in the book of Luke, chapter 7, where we read an intriguing story. There's a Roman centurion who has had one of his servants become quite ill. He's virtually on his deathbed, and since this particular centurion is respected in the Jewish community, he asked them to go and see if Jesus would heal the centurion's servant. To give you a small backstory of centurions, they were Roman military officers who were in charge of about 80 to 100 Roman soldiers. They had authority from Caesar, and Caesar usually followed their orders. Now, getting out of line or not following a centurion's order would be just as bad as if you were to dishonor Caesar. This is important because the chain of command was highly respected and followed by those who the centurion gave orders. Now back to the story. In the first few verses of Luke chapter 7, we learn that the Jewish people wanted to help the centurion because of the noble things he did for their community. He built synagogues for them and was seen as a help to the community in many ways. So they went to Jesus and asked this. They asked him if they would heal the Roman centurion's servants by coming to his house and performing a miracle. Now here's where the story becomes really good, and we'll start reading in Luke chapter 7, verses 6 through 8. Verse 6, it says this: So Jesus went with them, but just before they arrived at his house, the officer sent some friends to say, Lord, don't trouble yourself by coming to my home, for I am not worthy of such an honor. I am not even worthy to come and meet you. Just say the word from where you are, and my servant will be healed. You see, the centurion didn't know or have relationship with Jesus, but he did understand that Jesus operated with power and great authority. In his position, the centurion had power, but he couldn't help his servant. And since Jesus had greater power, he didn't have to show up in his house for the miracle to take place. He only had to say the word, and it would be done. The Roman centurion could have easily used his authority and accolades to prove that he deserved the miracle from God. However, what he did was uncommon to the Roman officers with that kind of authority. He verbalized his weakness instead of showing his strength by declaring himself unworthy to meet Jesus. He did this because he understood the hierarchy of authority. Instead, he asked Jesus to just say the word and the miracle would be done. Today in your life, are you trying to prove yourself worthy in order to see miracles take place? Are you spouting off all the reasons why God should perform for you? What if God is waiting for you to take hold of your faith by humbling yourself and asking him to do what you cannot? I believe we sometimes can limit God's power because we don't understand how much he actually has. The truth is, God's more is not of this world. He holds both life and time in his hands. He can do anything he wants because he is God. When we understand this, our worship of God and our requests to him change. I believe miracles often occur in our lives if we simply understand who is in authority. No matter how many things we do for God and the people of this world, they will never be enough to earn God's blessing and favor. Another point from this devotion is knowing that all God has to do is say a word and things change. I have a supernatural confidence in knowing that it can happen when I ask God something in faith. When my mind desires and wills are aligned with God's, I can ask of anything by faith and it will be done. Not because I'm awesome, but because I've understood that I should go to the one who is greater than me and has more power. Maybe you haven't aligned your life with God's plan today and haven't admitted that he is greater than you. I want to encourage you to do that first before asking for anything. Once you align yourself with God and believe his power and authority is significantly more than yours, expect blessings to occur and be open to allowing your faith to grow. I wonder what would happen if we caught a glimpse of God's power and authority and how our prayer life and faith would expand. I pray today that you understand God's power and it will grow in you, and you will specifically ask God to just say the word and see his goodness unfold around you. I pray this devotion blesses you today.